boys and girls of primary and secondary schools, students of Buddhist Sunday school and Dharma classes, parents and grandparents, and teachers of Buddhist Sunday school and Dharma classes. Suki Hotu, may you all be well and peaceful. We're going to have a presentation that is titled From Jokes to Moral Lessons for the Young. So you are going to enjoy a number of jokes which carry some important life lessons. And for each of the jokes, there will be reflections on the life lessons that we can learn. So as you can see in the cover slide, you have the young ones enjoying the jokes and also the teachers teaching the moral lessons or life lessons that pertain to the jokes, right? So very beneficial, isn't it? You can have fun as well as learn useful life lessons or moral lessons. Now, the text for this presentation are in English and Chinese, but the narration will be completely in English. So we will start by launching the PowerPoint. So slideshow, we'll start from the beginning. Our slide, and the picture here actually was got from the AI, artificial intelligence, from text to images. So I found that this will be very suitable for the title of this presentation because it has two aspects. One, jokes, humor, and the other, moral lessons or life lessons that we can learn. All right. Now, so we are going to go on to the first joke. I'll read the joke and then explain a bit and comment before we look at the moral lessons that we can learn from the particular joke. Now, I think I can take off my video, stop the video, so that we can concentrate on the contents of the slides. A mother noticed her little daughter praying. Please God, the little girl kept saying, bless my father and my mother and make Malacca the capital of Malaysia. Why did you make such a strange request? The mother asked. And the little girl replied, because that's what I wrote in my geography test this morning. So you see, a very, very naive and innocent girl. She was praying to ask God to make Malacca the capital of Malaysia. Now we know it's Kuala Lumpur, right? So you can see when we don't understand things, then we can actually do some very, very, in a way, ridiculous things, absurd, isn't it? But anyway, that's just a joke. Now let us look at the moral lessons involved. Firstly, do not be superstitious and believe in absurd things. Now, when we look at the situation around us, we can see a lot of even adults, resort to superstitious practices in the belief that their superstitious practices can get them the things they want. Like, for example, among the Chinese, especially maybe during the new moon and full moon or religious festivals, they burn a lot of the paper money and other paper paraphernalia to the various gods, believing that they can please the gods and then the gods can grant them their wishes. Of course, this is not true, isn't it? In fact, it's polluting the environment. So when you don't understand things, then you resort to foolish actions, which actually can harm other people, even yourself and the environment. So that is the first moral lesson that we are going to reflect on. And then the second one is, be diligent in your study and you will learn and remember your lessons. So actually, this little girl can be counseled this way. We can tell her, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, that, you can improve next time. Maybe you study with more concentration and you can get the correct facts and information. Now, it's not by praying to the God that you can change all situations according to what you want, isn't it? So you explain to the little girl so she can begin to understand. So you want to do well in your examinations or your tests, what you need to do is to study hard, be diligent, and of course you have to understand what you are studying. So that is the important thing, rather than resorting to foolish actions. We have even students who study very little, but they go from one temple to another temple, from one place of worship to another, appealing that they should do well in the examinations. Now, if they don't study sufficiently, no amount of praying can get you the good results, isn't it? So you reflect on this, and you know you have to be diligent, study hard, and then things will work out better for you. So that is a very important thing that you have to remember. So how do we know? That is by studying, which is logical, based on science, and which is superstition, unwise. You need to study. Like for example, if you go to Buddhist Sunday school, you will learn the Dharma that will teach you the truth, the facts, the things as they really are. Like for example, last time people believed that the earth was flat, and even the church, and then also many adults believe that the earth is the center of our solar system. But now we know it's not true. It's the sun, isn't it? In our solar system, then you have the planets. Traditionally, they will consider 9 planets going around the sun. So you see, it's by learning, investigating, probing into things that we get the facts, so that, the superstitious beliefs that we hold, we throw them away. That is how we progress. Ancient times, maybe during the caveman times, when they hear thunder or see lightning, then they believe that this is due to certain gods in the heavens that give warning or make the warning sounds, things like that. But now we know there's a scientific explanation for the causes of lightning and thunder. So you see, it's so important to have knowledge, the true facts. So this is an important thing. We have to educate the young people. So that is the slide number 2, which is the first of the jokes. Now let us go on. By the way, this is a picture of the city of Malacca. So these are very cute little girl. All right. Now let us go on to the next one. Which is the second one. Now, little Mary, that's the name of the little girl who said she was talking with her friends, talking with Sabri, Sami, and Chong. So she told the friends, in my family, I'm scared of my mommy. Maybe sometimes the mommy might scold her when she does certain things which should not be done, right? Then the boy, Sabri, the Malay boy, say, I'm scared of my daddy. And then the Indian girl say that It's my granny. I'm afraid. She said she's very afraid of the grandmother. Then the Chinese boy, little Chong, was keeping quiet. So Mary asked the Chinese boy, what about you, Chong? Huh? Whom you are afraid of in your family? And little Chong said, ho ho, in my family, all the three are scared of me. My mommy, my daddy, my granny also very scared of me. This is shown by the fourth cartoon image of this very active and sometimes quite aggressive, aggressive type of person now. So you see from here, you see that people, young ones and also older ones, sometimes are unnecessarily fearful of things. Why should you be afraid if you have not done anything wrong? And if you understand things and you are a good person, then you don't need to be afraid. In fact, people will like you because you are of good character, your behavior is good, you help people, you are always doing charity, and you are not getting angry many times. You have a good temper and you smile, all these good characters. So why should people be angry with you? So you can see from here, we learn the moral lessons. When you have a good character and behave well, you will not be afraid. People will like you, isn't it? They will have metta or loving kindness for you because you have a good character. So you are afraid is because generally you have done something wrong. Otherwise, no family member would scold you or would, punish you, isn't it? You have not done anything wrong, isn't it? So now you say, why am I scared of mommy? That's because sometimes I, do wrong things and mommy maybe punishes me. So now you have to see that your mommy or your daddy or your granny would not like if you do certain things wrong. So they, out of love for you, will have to teach you. So this little boy, Chong, is the worst of the children there in terms of behavior. Because she said all the other members of family are afraid of him. So you have cases like this, the child will go into tantrums, would shout scream if she or he doesn't get the things he wants. That is not accepted. So Chong thinks that he's very great, but actually it reflects on his character. Right, that he is creating havoc and trouble in the family, and the family also finds it so difficult to handle. And sometimes they just give in to him. He wants this, let him have it. He wants that, everything ask him. So it becomes a spoiled child, isn't it? So this is something you have to take note. A naughty child, like this Chong, will not be liked by many. And he or she will be punished for wrong conduct or misbehavior. But nowadays, parents sometimes spoil. The one that misbehaves doesn't get punished, So he grows up to be sometimes like a gangster or rampant and all those stuff. So you see, you have to take note next time when you become parents. You have to look after your children properly so that they will not grow up to be terrible people, isn't it? Gangsters, right? Or maybe the ruffians, and so on, you see. So here you can see important moral lessons that you have to note. Now, so that is number 3, slide number 3. Now we go on to the next one. The next one is teacher is talking to a student by the name of Sunny. Sunny in the primary school. This actually pertains to children in the primary school generally, or maybe Form 1 sometimes. So one day, the teacher was teaching in class. So he calls Sunny, she calls Sunny. That is the teacher. Actually, is a man. Actually, he dresses like a woman, but he has a mustache, so he must be a man teacher. So he called up Sunny, stand up. So Sunny stood up, and then he asked, Sunny, if you had $5 and you asked your mother for another $5, how many dollars would you have altogether? And Sunny very quickly said, $5, sir. Of course, you know, the teacher expects 5 plus 5, 10, isn't it? For standard 1 or standard 2. Right. Then the teacher was not happy already. You don't know your arithmetic. This Sunny, right? He was a mischievous, clever, but mischievous. No? But sir, you don't know my mother. She is miserly. She is a miser. Very stingy one. Would not give. So, how much would I have? I will still have $5 because my mother would not give. So you can see from here, it's very, very funny in the sense that the teacher never expected an answer like that. Now, some children are very cheeky, they are smart, but they have to be educated in a proper way. And in this case here, this boy is Sunny, right? He's smart, but he does not do the things that the teacher expects to give a correct answer for the arithmetic problem. I think he should not be punished, right? But he should be educated in a kind manner, right? So, and the teacher maybe should tell him, you are saying something bad about your mother, that she is miserly, a miser, stingy, doesn't give you. That is not good to talk bad about the members of the family. It's not good. So this is one of the moral lessons actually. So when we look at the moral lessons, we look at this. We take note of these important points. Be careful of what you say to another person. Sometimes you spread rumors. Sometimes you say bad words. Sometimes you lie. Those are wrong things. So we must think before we speak. Speaking unwisely, like foolishly, right, reflects poorly on you. People have a bad impression of you, right? Ask you, where do you live, right? Then the fellow wants to be funny. He says that I live in a house. So if he's a teacher, the teacher might not be happy, you see, right? And then some, instead of answering, you're going to talk about something else. Where do you live? I come to school by bus. That's terrible, isn't it? So a wise person will know a time to joke and a time to answer properly when the teacher asks the questions. And the other point I mentioned just now, which is very important, no one should talk bad about his family members to others. True, isn't it? Right? You should not talk bad about the other family members. Because people will have very bad impression of your family. So you have to think, because you talk bad about the family members, maybe not true actually. Just like, for example, if your mother canes you, then you say your mother is a very fierce person. But you might have done something wrong. And your mother is educating you so that you can grow up to be a good citizen. If your mother doesn't bother, you always play with the smartphone, doesn't do your homework, always watching TV and so on, then you say, my mother is very good. Think that is correct? You like it, but that's not good for you, right? So you have to understand this very clearly. So this is the joke about the teacher and Sunny. Now let's go on to the next joke. Now, this next joke, which is on slide number 5, right, is about the husband and wife. Now, a husband phoned his wife from his office. Probably the wife is not working. She's a housewife, just like your parents. Maybe your father is working, but your mother is not working, but she's a housewife, so much work to do at home, to do the cleaning, to do the washing, to cook lah, possible like that, isn't it? So husband once phoned his wife from his office. Now, what did the husband say? I've got 2 tickets for the musical concert show, the musical concert show in town. Now, of course, they probably are going for maybe classical music show, right? Or maybe they won't go for the, I don't know, you see the Coldplay, maybe the adults might not want to see young people. But anyway, it's a musical show, a concert. The wife very excited because she also loves to go to musical concert. Then she said, that's wonderful, darling. I'll start getting ready straight away. What does she mean when she says, I'll start getting ready straight away? It means that she will start to choose the dress, get ready the proper dress to go for this musical concert, and then she also maybe has to do something to her hair, wash her hair, as you can see the picture lah. And then also she has to put a makeup. It takes a lot of time, So the husband, when he heard the wife saying that she'll be starting to get ready already, then the husband said, you better do. The tickets are for tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show, so the husband said, you better start getting ready. This tells you that this wife is always in the habit of taking a lot of time, to make up lah, to choose the dress lah, to do her hairstyle lah, to put on the lipstick lah. Wow, making the husband wait for a long time because she want to beautify herself. And then she doesn't manage the time well, Right? So it's terrible, isn't it? So from here, you can learn very important points. Actually, it would be foolish to waste too much time, money, and energy to adorn yourself. Adorn means to sort of make yourself look more beautiful lah. To put on a perfume lah, or maybe you put on certain cream on your hair lah. And then for ladies, some boys also do that. Put powder on the face lah. All sorts of cosmetics and it takes so long. And then after that, they have to choose their shoes, polish their shoes, all those things. You spend so much time. So that is not really wise to me. Yeah, you need to take care of your body also. But you spend so much time on this and you find that one day all our bodies will turn to rotten corpses and die, right? You must take care of your mind also. Very important, right? So this is one aspect. Now, don't waste too much time and money also. I've seen some students have told me, wow, they go to the hair salon and then spend, I don't know, $30, $40 to put gel on the hair, and it can only last about a few days, 5 or 6 days. Wasting the money away, isn't it? So we should not do that. Maybe some money saved can be used to help the poor. And then the other thing is, be prompt and punctual for any appointment. Let's say your friend or maybe an auntie, uncle has agreed to come and fetch you to go for a movie or to go for a dinner at a restaurant, and your friend or your relative tells you the time. But you are the dilly-dallying type, right? So you don't take action according to time management principles. The last moment only you want to search for this, search for that, and then your friend has to wait so long for you. Isn't it terrible? So punctuality is very important. So don't let others just wait for you. You have the habit of not being punctual, procrastinating. I don't know. I don't like to let people wait for me. Already they are helping already to give me a lift or to fetch me somewhere, and yet I make them wait, isn't it? It's not good, isn't it? So this is a moral lesson that you have to learn, a life lesson. Punctuality, right? Think about other people. have consideration, wasting other people's time. If you go for a wedding dinner, for example, say that be punctual, the dinner is going to start at 7:30. You find that they keep on waiting. The host will keep on waiting half an hour, 1 hour pass. Still, the dinner hasn't started. So if you have not taken any food at home, I will be really hungry. It's terrible. So people are not punctual. Stealing time. There are people who are punctual, so going to wait there for 1 hour. It's terrible. So I dread going for such dinners. So these are things you have to note so that you don't get this sort of bad habits. Now let us go on to the next one, which is slide number 6. A teacher was reprimanding. Reprimanding means warning, warning. A lazy male student whose father was a doctor. That means a doctor's son. So this doctor's son, maybe in primary 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, or even could be from 1 or so, right? Warning the lazy student whose father was a doctor. So what did the teacher say? The teacher was a bit annoyed and angry already. Actually, the teacher is quite concerned about him, Otherwise, she won't bother. So then she called this student up. Your grades are terrible. That means your results for the test or the examinations are terrible. You can get better results if you study harder. I shall send for your father. Actually, this teacher, you can say fierce, but actually she is doing her job. I also have encountered this situation, but I don't scold them. I just call them out and counsel them. They are Form 6 students, so I don't call their father, mother. I will talk to them like that, you see. But then some will give funny excuses. They are smart people, but their grades are not good. And that is because they did not put enough work. So I will counsel and advise them. But this case is a primary child. So she needs or he needs counseling or needs action to be taken. Otherwise, next time it's terrible, isn't it? So what happens is the teacher said, I shall send for your father. She wants to talk to the father about him so that he can work harder. Then the doctor's son, he couldn't be bothered. He said, if I were you, teacher, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't send for my father, right? That you should not send for my father. The teacher was very surprised. Why? Why can't I send? The doctor's son replied, my daddy always charges $20 for each receipt, This is what we call a doctor's house call, right? So anybody that calls the doctor to the house, usually because there are sick patients in the house, my father would charge. Well, he gives this reply, right? So you can see the teacher was quite annoyed in that sense. Wow, instead of saying, sorry, teacher, I will work harder, right? Please don't call my father because when I go back, I might get the caning. I promise you, I will not be like that or something like that. But the student, of course, this is just a joke, right? But it tells us some important points that we have to consider. Now, let's look at the moral lessons. A student should be ashamed of getting poor exam result because of his laziness. If you have tried your best and you don't get the good result, then it doesn't matter. But this is a case of sheer laziness. And you should actually be ashamed, isn't it? If you think, oh yeah, I did not work, I see hard, see get all the results. So terrible. People may think I'm very stupid. But it doesn't bother, that tidak apa attitude. So that's not good. It has to be counseled and taught the proper things to do, right? In fact, you should feel shameful also lah. But it doesn't bother. And then the other thing is answering teachers or answering parents, young ones, or answering monks or nuns. Very important, must show the manners and politeness. So here, the second moral lesson, a student should speak politely to teachers, his parents, and other elders. That means like, for example, your relatives, uncles, aunties, right? And then also monks and nuns and so on. So must be polite, this one. Someone make fun. My daddy charges $20 is the doctor. No, so you see, so it's terrible, isn't it? So now we have to go on to slide number 7. Right, slide number 7. Now let us look at. Okay, this is slide number 7. This is another joke. Wow, you see, it was what? A miserly old man. That means an old man who is very stingy. Kedekut lah. Miserly. So one day, maybe the old man was walking along the street and so on. So there was this thief, or you can say a mugger, right? In big cities like New York, very often it happens. So this thief confronted him, then use a knife, or use a knife to say, hand over your money or else threaten. Or threaten. In most cases, because these fellas, they are robbers or muggers or thieves, they are bad guys. So if you don't respond in the wise way, you can be hurt, you can be killed also. You have so got a knife, this one. You can see here with a knife. But this old man, he was very, very stingy, right? So he didn't want to give any money, right? So this robber, right, or thief, asked, hand over your money or else, but he did not complete. I just had a knife to threaten the person. Then the old man, not the least afraid, you know what did the old man say? The old man shot back, or else what? Or else what? He challenged the thief, Then the thief was very scared already. Then the thief begged, please don't confuse me. This is my first job. That means a new thief. This is my first job. So maybe he was unemployed, so now he has started his job as either robber or a thief or mugger to hold up a person. Right. So firstly, we know that his first job, he is not getting the proper type of job. It involves stealing, taking other people's things, threatening people's life. So there is something wrong already. The thief should be I should know that this is breaking a precept. If you wants to steal from somebody or want to rob somebody that's the first thing already. Stealing, killing, sexual misconduct, all these are wrong actions in it. So that's the first thing. And then the next point is that the thief also because learning the bad thing from the start. So at first very, very scared, right? So the first moral lesson that we have to know is this: stealing, extorting, force a person to give up the money, extort. Just in school, you have bullies. You have some boys who are bullies. So maybe the Form 1, Form 2 they bully the younger ones, or Form 3 bullying the Form 1, right? They say every month you must pay a few dollars or what, this sort of thing happens in school, robbers, they even rob the gold shop, the kedai tukang mas, so the goldsmiths, or banks even they rob. So these are unwholesome actions. They bring bad karma. And when you do something unwholesome, which is considered bad karma, you will suffer for those. Of course, when you are caught, you'll be put in jail, or maybe even more serious, murder somebody, might be sentenced to death. If you manage to escape, because you maybe lucky, or I don't know, right? But then you must remember, after you die, you can't live forever. You will be reborn. And that time you might have to pay back. You will be reborn in a suffering state. Especially you cause hurt or kill people or things. So remember, from here we reflect that this is not a good occupation. First job, stealing already, right? And then the other thing we look at is that in dangerous situations, what you say and how you act are very important because your life is in danger. So this old man, very stingy, wouldn't want to part with the money. So he's gambling with his life. Because the thief is a new one. If you have a psycho type, really violent, aggressive, all this, I think the fellow will die already. Right? You say, or else what? The fellow will give you a slap, and then the knife will poke at you already. There were cases like that. Right? So for your situation, if you encounter all those terrible people with their knives or gun pointed at you, you don't try to act up, you say, kill lah, I'm not scared. You will be killed. So you may just appeal to him and say things like that. Or you say, I don't have much money there, whatever you want, you can take now. You can't help it because your life is at stake, and life is the most important thing. So that's the thing we have to learn. Now let us go on to number 8 now. Slide number 8, slide number 8. So there was this naughty boy talking with his mother, right? So this son, one day, he was going to have his birthday soon already lah. So he said, Mommy, what will I get for my birthday? Of course, you know lah, right? These children expect presents. Maybe nowadays they even want mobile phones lah, or those Game Boy lah, all sorts of things, electronic things, all this nowadays, no. And the mommy wanted to teach him a lesson. He said, close your eyes. Then he followed lah, he closed his eyes. Now tell me what you see. So the boy, as you can see here, the picture here, he closed his eyes. In his mind, what did he see? Nothing. So the naughty boy told the mother, nothing, mommy, nothing. I closed my eyes, I didn't see anything. Then the mommy said, that's what you are going to get for your birthday. Nothing. Nothing. Now, actually, from here, you could probably deduce that he was a naughty boy. Yeah, he stated there, a naughty boy. Misbehaving. And then also maybe bad habits like, not doing the homework, not helping, right? And very selfish, all the bad habits lah. So the mother had a tough time educating him. So now this was an opportunity that punish him. Will not get anything for the birthday. But the mother might have told him, if you improve in your behavior and character, for your next birthday, you will get beautiful presents. That will be okay. You educate him that way. But all along, you must educate. Just not one occasion only when the birthday is near. So, from here, we can learn these moral lessons. You find nowadays, many young ones, they have become very greedy, wanting more and more, and they will not share with other people. So if you have this greed, not contented, not satisfied with what you have, just remember I told the story of the boy, right? The boy, the title was No Shoes, right? So he would always disturb the mother, right? He say, Mommy, my friends have 3-4 pairs of shoes. My shoes all lousy already. My friends have Reebok, have Nike, have Adidas, all these things. Then the mother doing her work, computer work or whatever, all right? So you already have 2 or 3 pairs already. Then you complain and complain, even though you are so lucky, there are people with no shoes at all. Then one day the mother brought him to the beach, and as they were walking along, he heard somebody singing. Then he asked the mommy, the mother, who is singing such a lovely voice? And so mommy said, we walk along the beach and we will see. And later on, he saw that it was a boy singing, very happily smiling. And then when you look down, the boy had no legs. Actually, the boy was actually on the wheelchair, no legs. No legs, never complain and singing so happily. And this boy, right, with 2 or 3 pairs of shoes and yet complaining. That was a good story to teach people to count their blessings to be thankful for what they have and not always be greedy lah. So this is one thing we can reflect. And then the other thing I mentioned before, if children misbehave, they are of bad character, they have to be punished, right? You counsel them, and then this mother maybe knew that, so the mother punish by not giving the present for the birthday that time. So this is the joke lah about the naughty boy and the mother. Now let us go on to number 9. Now, Peter, right? He involves a son and a father again. Right? So Peter also very, very naughty student, right? Say, Daddy, I got 100 marks in school today. The father very happy lah. Wow, if the son gets 100 marks, the father in the mind, what was the father thinking? Wow, I mean, one subject he must have scored 100. I mean, the other subject maybe he got 90 marks lah. So father said, wow, son, that's wonderful. For what did you get 100 in? That means actually the father was asking him, what subject did you get 100 marks? Then, but he just put it in the short form. For what did you get 100 in? That means for what subject lah. This boy, very, very mischievous, very cheeky, you can say, very, what do you call it? Let's say very discourteous, doesn't behave properly lah. So he tried to fool around or play around. He told the father, I got 100 marks. I got 100 marks, right? And I got 30 marks for maths, 50 marks for English, and 20 marks for science. Altogether, I got 100 marks. Imagine nearly all the 3 subjects he failed, 50 marks if it were the passing mark. It's just the borderline, right? So he failed his maths and failed the science essay. And yet he was not bothered at all, right? So this type of students are in a way irresponsible, and they have the tidak apa attitude, and they want to joke about it also. And if they are not successful in their school work and so on, they can't be bothered. Of course, the important thing is you have tried lah. So after that, you don't have to worry. But this person actually very likely, again, like the other case, was a lazy student, right? She never bothered, right? So it was terrible, isn't it? So now when we reflect on this, no teacher would like a student who is irresponsible, tidak bertanggung jawab. No teacher would like a student who is very lazy, doesn't want to do the work, doesn't do the homework, doesn't pay attention, right? But if the student may not be a very, very smart one, but he actually always tries his best, then it's okay, he's fine. The teachers will understand that, they will encourage him, they will like him also. So very important is the character, and then also to put in the effort to try your best. Then after that, even if you don't get high marks, you don't get the A's, doesn't matter. As there is a quotation that says, you may not be the best. You may not get the best, that means the best result. But what really matters is you have tried your level best. So that is a very great motivation quote, isn't it? But today, many also are not trying their best sometimes. In fact, the worst thing is some of them are copy, Now, they copy, so that is this thing which is not good lah. So, and then the other thing we have to be careful about is the way we speak, how we speak, what we speak in answer to a question. When we speak to an older person, right? Like for example, parents. Parents, you must respect the parents in it. So give proper answers. And then also the teachers. Teachers also must respect them. And then when teachers ask a question, give sensible, logical, polite answers. Some say, I don't like the teacher, I will give him back. That is not the way. If the teacher is not doing the job properly, that would be her bad karma. But if you do something bad also, you get the karma also. If the teacher, let's say, scolds you, either you have done wrong or maybe sometimes you feel you're not wrong. If you are not in the wrong, you can explain politely, isn't it? Rather than shouting back and so on, then you get angry, you get the bad karma also. So you see, what happens the thing important is we must not react in the negative way which generates bad karma. Like we get the anger or we get the hatred or even the thought of having revenge for that person. Your course of action should be like this. If somebody blames you or somebody says certain bad things about you, you can clarify without shouting, or you can in a very nice manner explain things. But if the person still doesn't accept everything, well, you already explained, then why should you let this person with all the bad speech and so on take away your mental peace? Isn't it? The upper will suffer the bad karma. Your mind remains very good still, isn't it? So that is this attitude we must cultivate. This dharma that we learn. So, but then today, the students, they fool around in unwholesome ways. No? Like for example, they don't study, they take up the habits of smoking. And now, also drinking liquor, even secondary students. No? And then, you know what? Gambling. Last time I had students in the Sunday school, Sunday 5, Sunday 6, they told me, they brother, oh, my classmates, they gamble. I said, how they gamble? They use a book, They use a book, and then they bet, maybe $1 or something like that. I say, and turn the page, and they turn the page, I say, it's 82. The book, page 82. 82 plus 8 plus 2, 10, 10 points. Another person turns it and then gets 47. 47. Check out already. When you play the cards, they also know this, but they did not bring the playing cards. So they use a book. I say, wow, so terrible. So young, and yet they go into this type of gambling with money. Then what happens actually when they go old? So you have to be careful. You don't fool around with unwholesome ways, and then you get addicted to bad habits like gambling, drinking, smoking. And some go and disturb girls and all those stuff. Boys, right? But now girls, some also, they go into smoking also, drinking also, gambling also already. They want to compete with the boys already. So remember that you have to be very, very careful. Right? This report card, you can see all the marks there inside. Right? Now let us go on to number 10 now. Right? Number 10. Slide number 10. Slide number 10. So involves two boys. Or maybe two young men also. Because it involves borrowing money. So it could be secondary school students now. One that's called him Tan, and the other is Lim. So Tan and Lim, they probably teenagers, maybe from 4 already also, or from 3 lah. So Tan told Lim, please lend me $100. Oh, you, because nowadays, even the young people, like last time I had students, in Form 4 only, Form 2, Form 3, World Cup betting already, and went to borrow money from the Taiko Along, So actually, really is true, as the picture shows, right? After you see that, they gamble, betting in the World Cup, football, World Cup. So this time, right? He approached, he said, you are my friend, Lim, please lend me $100. I'm broke already. Actually, He probably came from quite a rich family. The parents would have given him the money and so on. But he stupidly spent the money away already. Right? So now short of money. So then the Lima was not a very smart fella, but came from quite a good family lah. But he also used the money in stupid ways. Sorry, I have only $60. Then Tan say, it's okay lah. So let me have the $60 and then now you owe me the other $40 cheating oh, that means he's trying to fool this fella to cheat. Actually, of course, it's a joke, right? He takes the $60 and say that now you owe me $40 more. Actually, you should be paying back $100 altogether, isn't it? Right? But this time, I told you, sorry, the Lim was a dull person, not very smart. So he kena cheated, So from here, you see bad habits, borrowing money, spending money in a very, very foolish way. So the moral lessons I want to convey will be this. And today, you have many spending the money really lavishly and stupidly, foolishly, right? Those that come from the wealthy homes, wow, I see that now, some parents, rich parents, give their children, wow, even cars already, from 5, or motorbikes, and then they use expensive handphones, all those. So next time, you find that they have not enough money, they sometimes turn to all those criminal actions, like robbing, or now become scammers. I think you have heard, scam people, cheat people of their money through the internet, terrible now, right? So if you are a good person, you know that, okay, you have to manage money, so your parents will give you pocket money and so on, all this. Do not spend your money foolishly. You must also save up some money. So of course you need you need money to buy certain things which you need. So the important thing is do not spend your money foolishly. And some even use the money to gamble and, as I told you, buy cigarettes and so on. So now they have even the vaping, all right? All those things. And then in time to come, desperate already, right? Because the parents have given the money maybe sometimes to, give the school because of certain fees you have to pay. They're going to use the money and then gamble away. Then panic already, because school chasing them for the money because they have to pay maybe laboratory fees or library fees and so on. You still have to pay certain amount of money so their parents have given them, and then they use the money in the foolish way. So when the teachers chase after them, if they don't give, then the teacher will report to the parents they had it, isn't it? So this fellow's going to borrow money, not from the friends. In this case, they borrow from Along, Along. That's why I had one. I remember one student was terrible. Even from 2, he would go to borrow money from Along, in order to gamble. And his gamble was betting, especially football matches. And then he was desperate already because Along. In one case, the Along even came to the association and damaged his motorbike. I was teaching him, I was giving guidance class come bimbingan to him. At the time he was in Form 4. Wow, so imagine like that. And then he was desperate, at night he would try to go and steal things from other houses, Wow, very tough case. So don't get into all the vices. Vices will be the bad things, stealing, cheating, lying, drinking, they become mabuk, taking drugs. All those are terrible things that will ruin your life. Right. So nowadays also you have to be careful. Like this Tan, he's trying to cheat his friend Lim, right? He borrowed money, he probably would not give back already, yeah. So, but today, you find that many fall victims, including educated ones, fall victims to the scammers. People who scam and cheat them through the internet, they bluff you la, lie here, they tell lies all sorts of things you hear of. Even educated ones losing wow, how many thousands of dollars or everything through the scam. So you have to be very careful. Even the young people also, can fall victims, as you have heard of form 5 leavers. So they become victims. People promise them to go to another country and they would get jobs which are very well paid, thousands or how many thousands. By the end, they lure these young men and even some girls also, young women. After Pompai only like that. You go to other countries like Myanmar, Thailand or Laos, Cambodia, and then make them do the criminal actions. Denial, right? That means they will be working on the internet and cheat people. Scam, they call it, right? And cheat people through internet. So it's terrible, isn't it? So be careful that when people approach you, promise you this and that, everything, you have to be very careful. You're not sure of things. Don't just, now I have touch and go, my number like this and that. And then you cannot really become victims. So that's very important. Now, let us go on to, we still have another 2 slides only, right? So now let us go on to slide number 7. It involves a kindergarten kid. And this kindergarten kid's name is Aso. Aso. Aso actually is a pun for Gong Tai Tai. That means foolish person. So Aso was his name as a kindergarten kid. And he was complaining to his mother. And the kid, sometimes some kids like to complain. Then Aso told the mommy, Mommy, please ask for a new teacher for me. He was attending a kindergarten class in the kindergarten center. The mommy was surprised. The mother was surprised. Why, darling? Why? Why must I go and ask for a new teacher for you? Then Aso said, my teacher are useless one. My teacher can never make up her mind. The day before, the day before, that means 2 days ago, actually, she didn't know how to say it properly. He said the day before yesterday, actually, should be. The day before yesterday, she said 5 and 4 make 9. And yesterday, you know what she said? She said 2 and 7 make 9. And today, she said it's 3 and 6 that make 9. Actually, all correct, isn't it? So this kindergarten kid, he is ignorant. He lacks the knowledge. So he complains only. He doesn't understand. Probably he was not paying attention. Nowadays like that, like monkey mind. So they don't pay attention. They know how to complain. So he complains. Of course, the teacher was correct. Right? Addition, arithmetic. So this boy complains to the mother, to ask the mother to change the teacher, to go and complain that this teacher useless. It's the boy that is useless actually. So from here we can see is all these are jokes, but there are very good moral lessons we can learn. Just to have a more interesting lesson. If I tell you just all about life lessons and then civics and all this, it might be bored. But then you can appreciate the joke. It's just a joke, but we can reflect and actually think about some of the terrible things that are happening today, isn't it? So here, in this case here, there is ignorance, kejahilan, or lack of knowledge. Probably this kindergarten boy has not learned the arithmetic the teacher has taught already, and the other children knew, right? He was not paying attention, some children restless and doesn't want to listen, all types, right? So if you don't know things, right, ignorance, lacking in knowledge, then your mind can be very confused. Confused, why, may? Today teacher said 3 and 6, 9. But yesterday she said 2 and 7. Because he doesn't know anything about addition. He has not learned in the class. So when you know of this, very important that we have to gain knowledge, to learn, be attentive in class, so that you learn effectively and you become knowledgeable. You're smart. you know more things. People, wow, this boy very lag on lag chai, very smart reading. So people look up to you lah. So then the thing is they are bored. They are only thinking of playing with the smartphone and all the games only. They're not interested to learn, you see. So we must, as educators, teachers, must explain to them why it's so important. Parents especially explain to them. So actually, you must make them enthusiastic, very interested to learn. And then also to motivate them so that they'll be diligent, right? Diligent. So this one is the task of the parents and the teachers. So this is the last of the jokes, which is slide number 11. So now we come to the last of. So I wrote this couplet, right? I wrote these couplets. Have laughs with good jokes and jest. Jest with something that really very amusing, right? That gives fun and amusement, jest. Also pertaining to jokes also, right? So have laughs with good jokes and jest. Learn life lessons and beat stress. Research has shown that if you can laugh at good jokes or humor, then it's good for your health, physical health as well as mental health. So humor, jokes, good. Clean humor and jokes, good for your health also, both mentally and physically. So you enjoy the jokes, and then also you get the benefits of gaining some wisdom, some knowledge, as I've gone over with you for the 10 jokes in the presentation, right? So I have put in the cartoon. Here is to show the jokes. Here is to show what we can learn, the life lessons we can learn. This is supposed to be a caricature of Einstein. So we have come to the end of this presentation, which has a title From Jokes to Moral Lessons, two aspects. So I hope you have learned something and you want to share with your friends. That is something very something good, right? So later on, I haven't posted this yet. So later on, we posted on the YouTube and also the slide share. And then if you want to share, you can share with your friends and so on. So now before we say sadhu 3 times, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you students, whether primary or secondary or even youth members, and also the parents, because they watch this in order to also gain some info and knowledge to teach the grandchildren or the younger children also. Parents, grandparents, and also teachers of Sunday school and Dharma classes. In fact, to all who have viewed this presentation, right? Either to learn to teach other people or also to enjoy the jokes. They may be older, but still young at heart. So I would like to say thank you to all of you who have followed the presentation. You have taken time and also expended energy to follow this more than 1 hour presentation. You need to be mindful and concentrated. So I say thank you and sadhu. So now let us fold our palms together and say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To all you students and all who have been following this presentation, may you all be well, happy, peaceful, and also healthy. And may you learn, right? The Dharma, which will help you very much apart from your school work. So take care.